What's happening, culés, and welcome to FC Barcelona Central. I am your host, Pedro, and if you thought the summer transfer window was already wild, hold on to your hats because we got a bombshell coming out of Barcelona with a shock meeting that could change everything in our attacking plans. Plus, a major update in our goalkeeping situation. All right, culés, this is the kind of news that's saying shockwave to the transfer market. The big news breaking today for this video is that Barcelona have held the meetings with Nico Williams' agent, Felix Tainta. Tainta especially traveled to Barcelona to meet with a sporting director Deco at a city hotel. This meeting was all about exploring the option to reactivate an operation that went nowhere last summer and seemed unlikely to happen this year. Nico Williams has ultimately, a few very strong offers in the table. The Athletic Club desperately wants to renew for him to renew this contract, and they needed to know what Barcelona's option position in all this is. The agent who made it in Barcelona last summer and practically agreed for Nico Williams' arrival then has maintained contact with the club in the recent months. Now, it is crunch time. He wanted to understand Barcelona's true predisposition toward his players, and in the recent months, Barca has slimly distanced himself from Nico Williams, and even President Joan Laporta publicly ruling out his signing this summer. He said a comment along the lines of like, the bus only passes one time. Nico Williams have generated massive market interest, not just because of his play, but also for the 62 million release clause. And now the real move has begun. Barcelona and Barcelona now, but especially Arsenal and Bayern Munich have knocked on the door to negotiate. Both clubs are willing to play the release clause, but Nico Williams would prefer to stay in a La Liga team. This is where Barcelona option comes into the table. This is, of course, in the condition that the club is fully have an interest in bringing the player in, and that obviously they can pay for the release clause and have no issues or difficulties being able to register him. Nico has a very strong friendship with several players in our locker room, and that will be a favorable view. Also, to tell you something else, he is a very good friend of Lamine Yamal. Barca's priority remains signing a left winger, like we talked about in negotiations. Our focus now on a main target, the main person that Deco wants, which is Luis Diaz from Liverpool. He sees, this is Deco's priority, but Barca also knows that it won't be easy taking him from a Premier League team, and his price will be very high. That's why this other alternative has came about. We talked about Marcus Rashford. He was in the pipeline, and Deco also met with his agent. With even Manchester United has an option to not release him, but having to come in as a loan. So the meeting with Nico Williams' agent could truly revitalize the wingers or chances for sign with us. And there's no doubt that Barca likes Nico, though they feel that they missed an opportunity last year. It remains to be seen if the club has fully opened the doors for him. Nothing is impossible here because his high quality is obviously undisputable. He has a set price and that will perfectly integrate into the Blaugrana locker room. And barely after an hour after this news broke, after this meeting between Deco and the agent, Lamine Yamal, the face of this new Barcelona generation, shared an image on Instagram of himself embracing Nico Williams celebrating a goal in the Spanish national team. Coincidence? Well, you guys decide. In other news, actually, the soap opera, it is finally over. After weeks of silent works and behind the scenes and intense both online and street whisper surrounding the move of Joan Garcia from Espanyol to Barcelona, especially since they are both rivals, especially Catalunya rivals. It makes it a little bit more interesting. The Blaugrana club put into the story and then to keep both fan bases on edge. The outcome was inevitable, driven by the players' clear desire to be in a Hansi Flick's project. Barcelona officially already paid Joan Garcia's 25 million release clause, plus the corresponding taxes. This means that player now will be a new Blaugrana player. Pending on the final contract or signing next week, Joan Garcia's legal representative handled all the transactions, with La Liga making his disassociation from Espanyol a done deal. The now official announcement from Barcelona, however, will have to wait. La Liga confirms the receipt of the money and validates the operation, and this process could take a few days. This signing from Joan Garcia is without a doubt a testament of the lightning fast behind the scenes work by Barca sporting team. In particular, just practically in 2 weeks, they reached a 6-year agreement with the goalkeeper and pay his release clause. There were no direct negotiations with Espanyol, who will receive the money in a few hours, and most handle the la ficha from to La Liga, so they can go ahead and give it to Barcelona. This was a priority for the club and for the player himself. At the goalkeeper's request, he wanted Barca to push this process quickly as possible so he can go in vacation. It is to be known that Garcia will make in Barcelona 6 times more than he made with Espanyol. This signing marks an authentic revolution in the Barcelona goalkeeper situation. Now, with the ex-Espanyol player being the starting goalkeeper in this new project, Chechin will be the backup. This means that Marc-Andre ter Stegen will have to find a new team or risk of being sidelined if he decides to see out his contract here at Barcelona. So it seems like the message is clear from Barcelona. It is the World Cup or bench for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. For some other news, not quite so happy news, first team player Gerard Martin has suffered a dislocated finger in his right hand. The player is scheduled to undergo surgery on Tuesday under a close supervision of the club's medical services. Another press release will be coming in the next few days, after the surgery, seeming this goes successfully. We wish Gerard Martin a speedy recovery. This is critical here because there was especially some rumors about him being shipped out to make more space. There's been a lot of talk about this player, so too sad. But listen, Barcelona has the best sports medicine in the world. Even American basketball players goes to Barcelona to get procedures done. So this is a good thing that is getting addressed there. And if we're gonna sell the player, we must sell him fully fit, I will say. And now I just want to take a look at our quick rivals, Real Madrid. They are in a historical trend here. Unlike with the Brazilian or French players, Real Madrid isn't typical on having too many Argentina players in the squad. In fact, the last player that they had is Di Maria in 2014. I'm saying this because the recent signing of Franco Mastatuono, he breaks a long-standing absence of Argentina players in this team. This makes his arrival particularly noteworthy in a rare move from them, as Real Madrid usually goes for Argentina, not Argentina players, but Brazilian players and some French players, most of them in the recent history. But this kind of is interesting. I like to keep an eye on what Real Madrid does. They have a very young player now. He's 17 years old. He was killing it in River Plate. He's going to play in the midfield, more likely in the central midfield or a little bit more to the right. He is kind of like what they like to call a box-to-box player. We need to see what Xabi Alonso likes to do, but he's definitely going to go against Pedri and Frankie de Jong against in the Clásicos. So, culés, we have an eventful video here. Nico Williams is back on the table. Joan Garcia is officially here. Gerard Martin is facing surgery in an interesting look in Real Madrid, just to see what players they get. There's never a dull moment here at Barcelona Central. I want to know what are your biggest takeaways from today's news. Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to stay on top of all breaking news and analysis from FC Barcelona, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. My name is Pedro, and you can find me on Instagram under my childhood nickname, Orrutio. Until next time, and Visca Barça.